Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome back to some episode predictions for this week's up-and-coming episode of The Walking Dead. This is Season 7, Episode 6, entitled Swear. Alright, so as always, alright, my predictions and reviews do contain spoilers, alright? That's without saying, it's obvious, you know what I mean? How do I predict and review an episode of The Walking Dead without spoiling some things, right? And comparing it to the comic book as well. So make sure that you're aware of that, alright? So if you want to continue, then, that's it. Alright guys, so Season 7, Episode 6, entitled Swear. I will put a link to AMC.com down in the description below if you guys want to follow along with this episode and watch the promo and watch the sneak peeks, which, by the way, we're not going to be going over the promo because the promo is just a combination of the next 3 episodes combined, alright? So, obviously, Episode 6, 7, and 8. 8 being the mid-season finale, which we can assume, we're going to see a lot of things, but we're not talking about the mid-season finale or even Episode 7 at this point. This is about Episode 6, entitled Swear. So the synopsis for this episode is a new community is discovered. And that's it, guys. That's all we have for a synopsis. Now, we've had a lot of synopsis over the past few weeks that have been very, very short, like one-liners, and I think that there's a reason for this, is because they're planning something really big, and they want to be very vague about everything that we can see here in previews and, in sneak peeks and stuff like that. And with the promo for the rest of the season, or rest of the mid-season, rather, for The Walking Dead Season 7, they put all 3 episodes together because they don't want to really give too much away in a promo for one specific episode. And I think the reason why they did it this episode is because the episode's mainly going to be focused on Tara and Heath. So for a promo just for an episode focused on Tara and Heath, you know what I mean? That would either be a really boring promo or they would show too much. They would give away too much. You know what I mean? So I think that's why they went with the whole promo, sort of combined together with episode 6, 7, and 8 rather than just episode 6. So I'm thinking that's why we're not going to go over the promo again. You guys can watch it. You guys can take scenes from it that include Tara and Heath and sort of use that, to look over what you guys think is going to happen. But so far, I think this episode, like I said, it's going to be focused on Tara and Heath. It goes without saying. This is what the episode's going to be on. Now, the last time we actually seen Tara and Heath was back at the satellite station in Season 6, when they assaulted that satellite station of saviors, the saviors that strictly deal with the Hilltop Colony. They assaulted that area thinking that that was their main base of operations, that they were the saviors right there, and only them. Obviously, they were deadly wrong, and they paid for it, but with that being said, that's the last time we saw Tara and Heath. So, with that being said, we automatically know from that Tara and Heath have no idea that saviors are still alive, and that they have no idea that Glenn and Abraham are now dead, and now Rick is taking orders from Negan and everything like this. They have no clue what is going on back at Alexandria and back with their group. They assaulted the saviors, think that they killed them all, and that's it. You know what I mean? They think everything's fine. They think everything's dandy. They're living well and everything like that. And they're out scavenging for supplies. Now, this is a very good thing, because they're not scavenging for supplies to give to the saviors. Again, they don't know that they're still there. They're scavenging for supplies for themselves. And what Tara actually brings up in the first sneak peek here on AMC.com, she's talking to Heath in an RV, it looks like. So we can assume that they get their hands on another RV or something like that. And Heath is sitting there eating, and he basically says, we've been gone for 2 weeks. We said 2 weeks. 2 weeks is done, let's go back now. And Tara points out that we can't go back empty-handed, you know what I mean? We have to get weapons. We have to get food. We have to get ammo, everything like this. They're expecting, us to come back with supplies. And if we come back for nothing, it's going to be very disappointing. And on top of that, again, Negan just took all of their guns and all of their ammunition back at episode 4. Tara and Heath don't know that, but the fact that they're looking for ammunition and guns is a very good thing. Keep in mind, Rick's group at Alexandria is completely weaponless right now. They have melee weapons, yes, axes, bats, everything like that, fine. How are they going to fight back against the saviors with that? Again, spoiler alert, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that they do fight back against the saviors. I'm just saying, if they plan on it, you need guns, to take out people. You can't just kill a bunch of saviors with hatchets and, expect to do okay. It's not going to work like that. So, yeah, it's a really good thing that Tara is getting guns and ammunition and everything for their group. And again, all the while, she's basically she has no idea that they actually need those things 100%. She sort of just assumes that these are things that we should come back with so that we're overstocked. But in reality, they're just going to be stocked, hopefully, if she finds enough. Also in this sneak peek, Heath is going over what they did back in the satellite station, things that he had to do and Glenn had to do with killing the saviors in their sleep. He just thought it was absolutely horrible. And, they did all this just to eat. Just to get food from the hilltop colony. They did this. That this is what you need to do now. You can't survive, together. It's sort of everybody for themselves now. This is what the world is. And he goes back to saying, we thought before you guys got here, and then he sort of leaves it off there, like sort of assuming that we thought it was an easy life. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have to work jobs and stuff like that. That's what I kind of took from it. It was sort of an easier life. Obviously, at this point, knowing what he knows now, it's not. And it's really affecting him. Now, he didn't actually kill any of the saviors back at the satellite station. He was about to stab one in the head. And after Glenn did it, he actually took the knife from Heath and just did it himself. Basically to say, I did it. I don't want you to get your hands dirty. It's not something you should do. And that's when Glenn ultimately took the second life. So Glenn got his hands dirty and he did pay for it. Glenn ultimately saved Heath from maybe not getting his head bashed in, but from experiencing that you have to kill somebody, Heath's never done it and Glenn never did it until that day. And Glenn took Heath's kill as well because he didn't want Heath to have to do that, He wanted to sort of keep him innocent, I guess, in a way. And anyway, he was going on about that to Tara. Tara basically said, we don't want to go back empty-handed. We need supplies. And that's where the sneak peek ended. I mean, there's much more dialogue. It's nothing too important, per se. But I think this is how the episode is going to start off. This sneak peek, we've seen in the past that the sneak peeks usually end up being like the opening scene to The Walking Dead. And I'm thinking this might be the opening scene to The Walking Dead as well. Either that, or it'll be the other sneak peek, which will be sort of a flash forward, and then it'll probably take us back a little bit to actually what happened. But basically in this other sneak peek that aired on Talking Dead, it's exclusive to Talking Dead as well. So I will try to find a link to it and leave it in the description below, but I don't know if I'll be able to. But with that being said, it opens up with a woman and a child, her daughter, that's what I assume, it's her daughter, killing walkers that have basically floated up onto the beach. And they're stabbing them with like spears and stuff like that. They're just basically putting them out of their misery, if you will. And they're just killing these floaters, I think is what they actually call them. But anyway, they kill a bunch of these zombies, and her little girl is about to go kill another one. And she ends up stopping her daughter from doing it because she realizes that it's not a walker. She goes over, takes the hair off of the person's face, and it's actually Tara. So Tara has washed up onto a sandy shore beach of some, how did she get out in the water? What happened? All I can really think is that her boat sank, but I mean, she doesn't have a boat, you know what I mean? So I can't really think of how that happened for Tara, but something definitely went down, and she floated up on shore, and it looks like she's still breathing, looks like she still is alive and stuff like that, but she's just up on shore right now, completely knocked out, I guess would be a way to put it. And that's where the sneak peek ends right there. So that raises questions, what happened to Tara? Did they find a boat and, did it sink, or were they attacked, or, what happened there? We've seen a lot of boat and stuff, footage and experience with, open water and stuff like that back on Fear the Walking Dead, especially in season 2 when they were on the Abigail. So we have a little bit of experience with that, and what could happen, to the boats during a zombie apocalypse, but yeah, I'm not too sure, what happened there with Tara. So that definitely raises questions. And then it also raises questions of, who is this little girl and who is this woman that we're introduced to in the sneak peek? Are they just like a side character that we're going to see, pass by really quickly? Or are they going to become essential to the show? I don't really think so, but they could ultimately take Tara back to a community, which I think might happen. I think this might be the way we're introduced to them, if you will. Now, this new community that is discovered, which is in the synopsis, leads us to believe that they found a new community, obviously. I mean, that's without saying. We don't know who this new community is, though. There's been a lot of rumors and stuff going around that it could be the Whisperers. because there's been like pictures and stuff like that online, but I don't think it's the Whisperers. I don't think it, like, if I want, I would literally bet my house on the fact that it's not the Whisperers. Okay, that's what I think. I don't think it's the Whisperers. And I know it's getting really bright in here right now, and I do apologize for that. I don't control the sun. You know, it is what it is. So I don't think it is the Whisperers. But with that being said, I think that it's going to be another group that they come across who will essentially provide them ammunition and guns, for fighting this war. And I think that will obviously be unintentional. I don't think they're going to provide them this, for that sure purpose of fighting the war. Because, again, they don't know the war is going on. They haven't been back since they left the satellite station. Had to think of that word there for a minute. But, I think ultimately they will, provide them in some way, shape, or form. Or Terra will, turn against them. They might turn out to be another evil group or something like that. And then they'll take their ammunition and guns and stuff like that anyways. And that's what it sort of looks like. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they're always in these tense situations in the promo and in sneak peeks and stuff like that in the SDCC Comic-Con trailer before. We also see Terra, like, running away. She looks scared. She's in, like, a ditch of, like, dirt with a shotgun. And there looks like people walking by. And it looks like there's a community inside of the forest all camouflaged out in, like, tarps and stuff. And it looks really, really cool. It looks like this community is basically hiding in plain sight. And I do kind of like that concept, but it's just going to be interesting to see how they're going to pull it off, It really is. So I think that this next episode of The Walking Dead is going to be good. It's going to answer us a lot of questions of where Tara and Heath actually went on that run. And, if they're going to really provide supplies to our core group, when they get back, if they have those means to do so. That's definitely going to be interesting because they could be a really big key factor in being able to start to launch that attack on the Saviors. Because as it starts, or as it stays right now, Rick and the group are pretty much helpless. They have no guns. They have no ammunition. Negan took them all. All right. That didn't happen in the comic books. Negan did not take all of their guns. I'm sure he took a few, but he did not take all of their guns because he thought that they had virtually no ammunition for them because they were still using ammunition on the walkers at that point. And he sort of talked to Rick basically saying, are you stupid? Why are you still using ammunition on the walkers? That's just outright dumb. So he essentially let him keep pretty much all of his guns, and then Eugene making the bullets is what sort of, got them up and ready to, load up those guns and, do something with them. No spoilers, but anyway, that is what happened in the comic books, but in the TV show so far, they went a little bit of a different route, and Negan took all their guns and ammunition. So now they're hopeless. All right, so I think Tara and Heath are going to be playing a pretty key factor in finding this new community, and I think that this new community are going to be pretty well stocked. Either they're going to, unite with them and take them back to Alexandria with all these weapons and everything like that, or they're going to turn on them and, something's going to go down. All right, so something is going to go down, I think. So it looks like military vehicles and, again, military camouflage tarping and stuff like that. So we could run into a military group. That could be a pretty useful resource, when they're trying to fight Negan and the Saviors. Maybe this group has actually run into Negan. Maybe they've dealt with him as well. So I don't know. We have no idea what's going to happen there, but I'm definitely interested to find out. So that is my predictions for Season 7, Episode 6, entitled Swear of The Walking Dead. That airs this Sunday on AMC. Hopefully you guys will be tuning in as well. Tune into the channel tomorrow for some Watch Dogs 2. I haven't been able to post the last 2 days with gaming content because I've been super busy. I actually put up a Christmas tree, and on Tuesday, PSN was down, so I couldn't do what I wanted to do then. So I do apologize, but with that being said, Watch Dogs 2 will be tomorrow. I'm actually recording some with Randall right after this. So I am primarily a gaming channel, as most of you guys may know. But if not, if you guys don't like my gaming, if you guys want to check that out, that's fine. Tune back in on Monday for my episode review of this week's up-and-coming episode of The Walking Dead. Again, Season 7, Episode 6, entitled Swear. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everybody. Bye. Welcome back to another episode review for last night's episode of The Walking Dead. This was Season 7, Episode 5. It was Episode 5. I almost botched that. Anyway, this was Season 7, Episode 5, entitled Go-Getters, alright? And